Hey sports fans, I just want to take a moment to give a big shout out to Thompson Performance. If you're looking to take your game to the next level and prepare for the demands of college athletics, Thompson Performance is the place to be. Their tailored training programs are designed to help athletes like you push past limits and unlock your full potential. You can reach Thompson Performance at their Instagram on screen or click the link down below. Hey sports fans, welcome back to the fourth quarter finish, where we sit down with rising athletes to talk about their journey. Today, we're talking with a player who's about to step into the spotlight for the first time as a starter. He's put in the work behind the scenes, learned from the leaders ahead of him, and now it's his time to show what he's made of. Let's welcome Bryce Backus, junior at Caledonia High School, and one of the names to watch this season. Bryce, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I love your work, and I just wanted to hop on here with you. So
that's awesome.
Bryce Backus. I play quarterback, class of 2027 at Caledonia High School, and I don't know. I just love the game of football.
I mean, it starts there, right? You got to start with you love the game, right? It's all about how much you love the game to start. So it's awesome, and thank you again so much for coming on here. And I couldn't wait for this interview, so I just want to jump right into it. Let's get to it. So we start off every podcast with the icebreaker. So, Bryce, if you could walk out of the tunnel to any hype song before a game, what would it be and why?
So mine, personally, I wouldn't really say it's a hype song, but Rocky Top, Tennessee's tradition with that. I just love their tradition, and I think it would be amazing getting to walk out to that.
That would be pretty electric. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Rocky Top. I mean, the Vols have, just one of the coolest traditions in football, and not only that, but I hear they have a pretty good history of good quarterbacks too. Might know a guy by the name of Manning. Don't know, but solid. Yeah. So, that's obviously awesome. I mean, is there any other type of college traditions that you wish you could that you want to experience one day?
Traditions? I mean, okay, well, I know this one isn't football, but Michigan State, their basketball one, the tradition, how all the students have the newspaper with the opposing crowd and stuff.
Yes.
That would be amazing to just experience.
That is always really cool. State's got a few good traditions as well. I might watch them here and there, but that's awesome. So, like I said, I like to throw out the icebreaker just because we want to know a little bit more about you as the person than just the starting athlete of Caledonia football, which going into that, this is your first year stepping into the starting role. So how does it feel for you to finally get this opportunity to really show throughout the entire season what you've got?
I mean, it actually feels great. Like, it's pretty hard to describe how it feels to finally do it. Because, I mean, I got to watch Brody and Mason before me, who were both great quarterbacks. And, I mean, as a kid, I used to go to Caledonia football games. And it's honestly, like, from that standpoint, like, as a little kid, it's kind of a dream come true to finally get to do it. But honestly, it's just it'll be great, and I just can't wait to be able to show people what I can do on the field.
Yeah, and I think that people are going to find out very quickly that you have very special talents on the field. Obviously you've got some great training tape out there right now from your off season so far. So, obviously going to the off season. So what have you been focusing on mostly this off season to get ready for this upcoming season?
So going through the off season, so right after football season ended, basketball season started for me. So I was having to do that. So after school, my daily schedule, I'd have a lifting class in school. I normally wake up early too before school, stretch, do core work, arm care, whatnot. But then after school, I'd go to the gym. Then I'd have basketball practice, and then afterwards, I'd either watch film or I'd go and throw with Cade Kaufman, the East Kentwood quarterback.
Gotcha. Yep. Cade is obviously committed to Michigan State as well. Very talented quarterback at that. And so learning, working with him together and you guys playing off each other, I'm sure is just a wonderful experience. You guys can, everybody has their own way of doing things. So learning from another person is never a bad thing, right?
No, definitely not. And especially a quarterback like his caliber, he is a great quarterback, to say the least. I mean, obviously he made to Michigan State. And it's also been cool to somewhat learn from him and just learn different things from him.
I was gonna say, so how often does a young quarterback like yourself, how often do you pick the brains of, quarterbacks like that or even older quarterbacks, so like Brody?
I mean, personally, I just like whenever I get a chance, like I wouldn't even say it's picking their brains. It's more just like being able to watch them and see like what they do good, what they do bad, and like learn from it. And I honestly like when you're picking someone's brain, it doesn't have to be like a quarterback. Like I know Brock, he's been a
Mhm.
role model too. And like sometimes I'll ask him stuff like about college or like his journey. And it's like it's really you just try and get like whatever you can out of like people who know more than you.
That's an absolutely great point. Yeah, you can always take leadership from, you can learn, you can never stop learning is my motto. So, anywhere you can get information about anything you're in your life is a huge point. So that's awesome to hear, obviously. And I think this off season you've definitely put in the work. It sounds like you got the hype behind you this off season. I'm ready to see it. So watching from the sidelines in past seasons, are there any lessons that you're bringing into this year?
Lessons, I mean, just seeing like throughout the process and everything, like seeing how like teams need leaders and stuff, like how Brody was a leader, Brock, Mason, and just getting to see all those dudes like be leaders throughout the process. I feel like that's like the biggest lesson I've learned and what I need to bring to the table to the team to help us succeed.
And yeah, that's a great point. So with that being said, what were some of the things that I mean, Caledonia made that state championship, and that was such an incredible run. I'm sure that for you it was 10 times fold being, involved with the football program. Watching it from the stands was pretty amazing, but
Yeah.
obviously, so what does that teach a young football player in Caledonia like you from watching their success?
So I remember that team. So I would go watch them in the summertime, like all those players. One of my favorite players on that team was Juice. I would remember watching that. He'd be talking to himself like in third person. He was a funny guy. But
Right.
yeah, but that team, what they had, the biggest thing they had was like they were player led. And I feel like if we would like to like recreate that success, I feel like that's the biggest thing you need. Obviously, we have the coaches, the great coaching staff coming in now with Bell as the new head coach. So we have everything there. We just need to be player led and player driven. I feel like that all falls down to like a certain set of like leaders on the team.
Yeah, and I've heard, like I said, I've had Brock and Mason on, and even Ian Fedowa, and all of them talk about their drive like that. They all had the one same goal of I want to win a state championship before I'm gone, before I leave. And even Carlo, like I said, Carlo. I mean, just so many great players from that team, and they all were, they were all dogs. Truthfully, they were all just dogs. So, I think that, Caledonia thrives on that type of, like what you said, the player led mentality. I think that's what Caledonia thrives on and always really has. So I'm really excited to see what the young dogs are going to do this year. I think you guys got a great opportunity. And so, with that being said, what does it mean for you to represent Caledonia football as a starter now? So bigger responsibilities, obviously, to the community. What does that look like for you?
I mean, honestly, we have a great community. I mean, we just got the new turf field. Now we're redoing the whole stadium. And every game you go to at Caledonia, you'll see how many fans are there and how like I it's just how the community like folds. Like I compared to some like other high schools and even in our conference and stuff, they don't have that. And people, the student section and stuff, they'll travel. And honestly, it's just a really great community. And I can't wait to be able to like be in front of them and be able to play in front of them. And
And,
honestly, it's just amazing.
and I was going to ask actually too, how exciting is it for you to be able to say, I was the first starting quarterback in the new stadium, potentially? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah, it'll for sure be cool. I mean, like I see the construction being done and everything, and I honestly, I don't know if it'll be done in time this
Right.
season. Like that's always the problem with construction. Fingers crossed, right?
Right,
But
right.
I mean, either way, it'll be such a cool experience, and I hopefully it draws a little more people out to the games. But we already have a lot of people there, and it is just a great atmosphere for high school football.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you said. I'm excited for it as well because the stands, it was starting to get pretty packed there for a while. There was people sitting on the side of the gates and stuff like that. And so to see them putting the money back into the stadium is fantastic for a fan watching experience just as well. To hear it from you, I mean, what that means to you guys. More people in the stands means more people to cheer for you, which means more energy, more hype, the
Or
electricity,
everything. What?
more everything, right? So, with that being said, actually, I had one other question, and it was, how are you planning to make an impact? So, as an underclassman, right, in this whole new, I guess, saga of Caledonia football with the new stadium and like I said, this is a younger team now a little bit. It's starting to roll over into the younger classmen. So, how are you planning to make an impact stepping into a bigger role?
I mean, honestly, I feel like a quarterback has to be a quarterback either way. No matter how old you are or anything, you have to be able to take responsibility and like honestly, you have to be able to like hold like you have to just be in control of the team pretty much. So even though I'm younger and everything, I feel like I just have to do my part, step in, and the biggest thing I gotta do is lead everybody, but like get everybody on pace and like on track. Like we have to know as a team like what we're gonna do, and I feel like most of that responsibility falls on me because I'm a quarterback. Even though I might be younger, underclassmen, but at the end of the day, I
Right.
gotta do.
Right, the quarterback always has to be the one to kind of know a little bit of everything. Everybody's, you got to know the receivers, the routes they're running. You have to know the line if they know their protections, and you got to make sure the running back knows which side you're handing off to. So, I mean, I gotta say, I for one am never gonna talk about quarterbacks and their mental knowledge because I'm sure your brain is just filled with just a lot of different things football related. So I am glad that I was a receiver and I only had to remember what route I was running for the most part. But
Yeah.
so that's awesome to hear that you have this great mentality even as a young guy that you're gonna go out, you're just gonna be a quarterback and make sure that everybody's on the same page, which is exactly what a leader wants to do. So that's awesome to hear. And it sounds like there's got it, like you've talked about a little bit already, that there's people that have came before you that have kind of helped you develop, your leadership qualities and your game. Is there anybody, past or present that has helped you really develop?
I mean, honestly, you got Mason and Brody. Mason, I didn't really get to throw with or anything like when I was younger, but I got to watch him obviously, and he was a great influence. He was a great player, one of the best players I've ever seen to this day. And
Mhm.
so it was really cool getting to watch him. And then Brody, I actually got to play with him a couple years, and so it was really cool getting to see like how he is as a football player and everything, just getting to learn like the little tips and tricks from him and like you just got to take like whatever you can get from those guys. And honestly, I've just learned so much like throwing techniques, just like everything you can think of pretty much for quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mason was incredible to watch. I mean, from a fan perspective, and Brody had a rocket for an arm. I mean, everybody, I'll never forget, leading up to those two, it was Mason was able to do pretty much run and gun style, and Brody just had a power cannon for an arm, which was just, it was cool to see both quarterbacks have success in the same offense, just different ways. So, going off of that, what do you see yourself more? What would you describe yourself more as? Would you say you're more of a guy that likes to be a little bit on the move, or do you want to, stay on the pocket and be a little bit more of a power passer?
Personally, I really like being on the move, and I feel like one of the best parts of my game is throwing on the run. And I mean, I'm not afraid to take a hit or hit someone, so I like running the ball. But I mean, at the same time, I just like throwing the ball. So I mean, if I have to be in the pocket, I'll be in the pocket. I can't complain. I just
You'll do
however,
what's
yeah,
needed.
whatever gets the job done.
Right, right. Whatever gets the job done. And I think, that's a huge successful thing too, is Mason kind of did that well too, where I mean, obviously the kid was so fast and, but he had a great arm as well that to go with it. And I was gonna say I think actually I see a lot of his game in yours as well. I think we're gonna see that this year. So With that being said, if you had to describe your game in 3 words, what sets you apart from others at your position?
Mentality. I mean, I feel like that'd have to be one word because, like, me personally, I'm gonna do like whatever it takes to win. Like, I do not care what it is. I just have the winning mentality and I want to win.
Right.
Team player. I know that's 2 words, but I feel like
Sure.
it falls into one thing. Like, I'm gonna do at the end of the day whatever it takes for the team to win, and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do what helps me. Like, I'd rather do what helps the team to win.
Right. Right.
And then the last word, probably, again, it's 2 words, but it's one thing: hardworking. Like, on and off
Mhm.
the field, I'm just gonna put in the work, and hopefully it shows on the field.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna definitely see it for sure. You're doing everything right that I've seen for a quarterback. I mean, the offseason stuff is A1. That's where you got to start for sure. I mean, it
Yeah,
takes a lot of work to be a great player, and putting in the extra work is how you become the best players. I mean, the best player, but still. Uh,
yeah.
so, thank you so much for talking about, your game. I know it's not easy to talk about your own game. From what I see a young player that's going to be electric, that's fast, and I see a kid that's got the whole world in the palm of his hands, just ready to grab it. And that's what I see so far. That's a fan perspective, so that's just what I see. I'm excited for you and excited for Caledonia football because once an alum, always an alum. So, uh, going into that, we're getting slowly closer to the new season. So, what is your mindset going into the first few games of the season? Are you nervous? Are you excited, or more of an all business type of feel?
So, I mean, definitely going into the first games, we have Canada coming to play, and we have Reese Buffers. So, 2 games to start, and I'm pretty sure we have Hudsonville after that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, of course, it's going to be a little nervous because it's my first time starting. At the end of the day, it's just business is business. You got to get it done no matter how it is. And like, if I'm going to be nervous, then I got to play nervous. Like, you can't really control it. And you just sometimes just got to block it all out. And football is football. So,
But at the end of the day, football is football. That's exactly right. It's all just X's and O's on a piece of paper, to be completely honest. But
yeah.
uh, in going into that, obviously there's been some changes on the Caledonia staff. So, have you talked to your offensive coordinator so far, and what is that relationship like?
So, actually, this year it'll be pretty interesting because we don't have a set offensive coordinator. We'll kind of have multiple people. So, we'll have Ewell, who used to be the head coach at Caledonia. He'll be one of them. And then we have Brad Ichek, who he played at Grand Valley. I think he broke a lot of the passing records when he was there.
Mhm.
And then Hoink, who was the receivers coach,
Mhm.
and JV head coach last year, receivers coach before. I think they're all 3 of them are kind of taking that offensive coordinator role. I don't know who will exactly be calling the plays in the games, but all of them are kind of taking that role. And I feel like for the most part, from what I've heard and stuff, we're kind of keeping the same plays, but we're also adding new ones, and it'll be more like because before it was more like throw here, if not like do this or whatever, right? You didn't
Yep.
have too much. But
Right.
now we'll actually have like progressions and like be able to read the coverages and stuff. So that'll be a step up from what I've had, and it'll be fun.
That sounds awesome. Like I said, anytime you get into progressions, that is really fun. Like I said, we didn't do it a lot, but obviously I've been around a lot of guys, high level guys, going to the combine and stuff and hearing them talk. And progressions are A plus 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 important. So that's awesome that you guys are going to a progression system, at least maybe a little bit. So super excited to see what that looks like. So obviously getting into personal stuff, do you have any personal goals that heading into this year? And then also, do you have any team goals heading into this year?
Honestly, personal goal. I like to make all conference, which it'll be hard because East Kentwood has a great quarterback in Cade Kaufman. So I feel like really he is the biggest competition I have, and I can't. I look forward to playing that game. That'll be a great game between us. They actually scheduled us for their homecoming, which is kind
Oh,
of
ooh.
just
That's gonna
interesting.
be that's gonna be a packed crowd. That's gonna be a packed crowd. Yeah.
That'll be a really fun game. But I mean, personal goal, all conference, really. That's what I'm looking at right now. I haven't really thought about too many personal goals for the season.
Mhm.
But as a team goal, win state. Like nothing more than that. That is the standard. And I believe we just got moved back into D1 for playoffs because they dropped it by 50, I think. And
Wow.
so we fit in there now. So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. But at the end of the day, you got to win,
You got
and
to
that's
win.
what I'm going to do.
Right. And going back to D1, I mean, that's got to be just it's got to be almost like a dream come true for that for your guys' team. I feel like because I know there's probably a part of you guys that's like, yeah, we want to do it for the team before the team that made it and didn't win it. We want to do it for all of you guys before us, and to do it on the biggest in the biggest division in Michigan for the most part. I mean, that's got to be just a rocking feeling for you guys.
It's kind of like we have to kind of finish that job. Like the fact that they didn't win it, and everyone saw that game, and we all look up to those players that were on the team, obviously.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see how everything pans out. But we get to play the best level of football there is in Michigan, and there's no other way we'd want it.
That is really exciting. That's really exciting. That's some awesome news. I'm so excited for you guys because I mean that just means good football all fall. So that's exciting. So last couple things I wanted to bring up because obviously every athlete has some kind of challenge that they face so far. So in your journey so far, what adversity have you gone through, and how did you push through it?
So I feel like my biggest adversity had to have been last year. I personally felt like I was good enough to start at the varsity level, but we had a great quarterback in front of me, it was Brody Betzer. And I felt like at many other schools, if we didn't have someone that good in front of me, I could have started. But
Mhm.
that had to have been the biggest adversity because he was a great like role model and just someone to look up to. But not getting to play that sophomore year for me, it was hard. And then they also like I just wanted to help the team, so they had me play some safety on varsity. So I was playing safety for the first time and quarterback when I could, and I was going JV varsity. I was doing everything, the defense. So it was just a lot to handle and like really take in. But I mean, it was actually really fun though. Like looking back at it.
That's I mean, hey, I always thought about like this is my friends would always be like, "Hey, can you just because I played safety, they were like, "Hey, can you just tell me the coverage so I can make it really easy on me as a quarterback?" I said, I really no, I don't think so. So you getting to see some defense, I mean, couldn't have hurt, you get to see a little bit about, how a defense might play a quarterback a certain way or, stuff like that. Did that have any effect for you?
Not really, because I feel like it people say it does and stuff, and I could see how they think that, but the grand scheme of things is kind of different because when you're playing quarterback out there, you just process stuff so fast that like you're not really looking at it from a defensive standpoint. Like you're looking at where the safety is, the coverage and stuff like that, and you're like, who's going to be open here and here? Like you're not really looking at it from the like standpoint of the defense quite.
That makes sense. But it's amazing that you faced that adversity and were able to overcome it. And now you put in the work, and you're about to be the starter of Caledonia football, which is crazy to think about. So, last question here, and this is the one that is on everybody's mind, even the communities, is looking ahead, thinking about college football. What are you feeling with it? Are you staying focused on the here and now, or obviously do you have a little bit of do you have a little bit of excitement about thinking about playing in college football?
Well, I mean, obviously there has to be excitement about thinking about playing college football and possibly getting the opportunity to. And but right now, I mean, the biggest thing is I have to put in the work and obviously be able to play the game at that high of a level to get a chance. It would be amazing to be able to somehow play the Division 1 level, highest level, possibly Power 4 conference. And if I got the chance, I love that. But honestly, it all starts like it all is happening right now. And that's just like you don't just like step up senior year and you're like, oh, I got to get ready for college or whatnot. It's all just happening right now, and you have to really ready yourself now.
Right, that makes sense. I've seen that you've been going on the trips. So do you want to talk a little bit about that? I believe it's Rising Stars.
Yeah, so what was it? 2 weeks ago, I went on a trip with Rising Stars. They're a 7-on-7 team out of Detroit who I've been playing with, and they're the best players in Michigan, like but they're all out of Detroit.
Right.
So we went on a Rising Stars bus tour where we visited 12 colleges. We visited a few MAC schools, which were Toledo, Western, Kent State, Ohio University.
Mhm.
Was that it? I don't know if that was it. But then we visited bigger schools: Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Ohio State, Michigan State. Um, we visited Marshall, who's Sun Belt,
Yep.
and just a few other schools. And I can't think of off the top of my head, but I mean, the biggest thing with those, like, it is a great experience. Like, just getting to like see what it's like for the athletes there and stuff. And then me myself, I've been on like practices so far at Georgia Tech in Toledo. And the best part about those is like before the practice, they let you sit in the little team room. Like, so I get to sit with the quarterback room, and it's like how they go over like the new plays they're putting in everything. And it's a lot to take in. Like some of the stuff you're like, whoa, how do you understand this? But like, it's also like just a great experience to be like, this is what it's like at the next level, and like what you need to get to, like the standard it needs to be.
That is incredible. And I'm sure that was just an awesome experience getting to see all those different colleges and meeting, the high level. I mean, those are high level guys, and to see and like I said, hear what they're talking about, and that only is going to help you get to where you want to be. Is knowing how either they prepare or how you can take some of the things they do to prepare and then use that in your own game, and to be doing that as a junior in high school is incredible. And so hats off to you, obviously doing that at your age that you are right now. So, I just want to say, Bryce, thank you so much for coming on. I mean, I can't wait to see what this season has in store for you. And I think that we're going to see some electricity on the field this year. And I think that you're going to bring it. I think Caledonia's going to bring it, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Thank you. I mean, we'll see what happens at the end of the day, but I
Right.
appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. And like I said, I plan on getting you back on, maybe even during the season. I've got some big things planned, so we'll see what happens. But guys, I want to thank you so much, and make sure you follow Bryce. I'm gonna have his socials on the page here. I'll be posting it to my Facebook as well, so make sure you follow him. He's got such an incredible future ahead of himself, and he's just a junior, and that's the best part, is he's got a full another year of high school football where we get to be blessed to watch him play. So, guys, follow along. Make sure you share this video. It really helps out Bryce, and it helps out the channel, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Thank you for listening to the Fourth Quarter Finish podcast. Please like and subscribe. To support the athletes that are featured, check out their personal links down below. Fourth Quarter Finish, hard-hitting takes.